Hayes come preach in your church? And of course he said, well, yeah, love to have Norval come preach in my church. I said, well, I'll call him and see if he'll come. He said, well, if you can get him, he can come anytime he wants to. You just tell him whatever date he wants, he can have it. So I called Brother Norval, and said, will you come up here and preach in the church I go to? He said, you think I should? I said, yeah, I do think you should. I said, when do you want to come? He said, well, how about September? I think he came and did like 3 or 4 services. Well, about 2 or 3 months before then, I was talking to Norval on the phone. He said, Dwayne, I don't think I'm going to go up to your church there in Lexington. I said, oh, yeah, you are, Brother Norval. I said, I already told the pastor. He's already advertising it. I said, yeah, you need to come. You need to stay with what you said you're going to do. He said, well, okay, all right, tell him I'll be there. So we had the meeting. And that Sunday morning, Norval and the pastor and his wife are sitting on the front row. I'm sitting on the back row right behind Brother Norval. And during the praise and worship, man, God's really moving on me. I really sensed that I had a prophecy to give. And the way most words work, you don't get the whole word. You may just get one word, or you may have an idea, a very thin idea of what this prophecy is about. But you got to start speaking something to figure out, to get the rest of it. So I'm sitting there during praise and worship, and I knew and in my spirit, I just knew God wanted me to prophesy. It's something about the importance of worship. That's all I had. Something about the importance of worship. I knew it was going to be along that line, but I didn't know yet just how to start it or anything. I just knew it was something about the importance of worship. And, I did like we've all done, and I tried to be spiritual about it to myself. I said to myself now, you start talking to yourself. I said, well, I would do that, but Brother Norval's a guest speaker. I don't want to take away from him, and I don't want people looking at me. Isn't that spiritual? I was so humble, wasn't I? I don't want people looking at me. I want them to keep their attention on how God's going to use Brother Norval, and really, it's just I didn't want to step out and do that, and I just want them to listen to Brother Norval. Well, finally we get done, and Pastor introduces Brother Norval. He gets up, and he says, while I was sitting there during the praise and worship, the Lord began to speak to me and change my message for this morning. I had a totally different message I was going to preach, and God was just dealing with me about it, and he wants me to talk about the importance of worship. Now I'm kicking myself. I thought, what an idiot I was. I thought, man, I can't believe. Now I'm wishing I had prophesied that. I mean, see, that was my